Protect your DNA. BioPQQ can promote formation of new mitochondria. Infowarsstore.com.
As all of your medical data begins to move online, is there a reason to be concerned about what these companies are going to be doing that are in charge of storing all of that data? Obviously, there's a little bit of concern about third parties that are going to be receiving information from these wearable devices. But take a look at this. NPR highlighted this story this week. It's a key loophole in a medical privacy law. Now, this deals with a University of Oregon student who says that she was raped by 3 basketball players last year. She's suing the school after she says the university mishandled her assault. Now, the University of Oregon did find these 3 players responsible, and they kicked them off the team as well as they kicked them out of school. But they didn't give the girl due process because there was no court case. Nobody was charged with a crime, and it was only later revealed that one of these players had already been kicked out of another school, suspended from a previous college team under these same sexual assault allegations. So here, this girl, she didn't even get the chance or the opportunity to take these guys to court and hopefully take one of these rapists off the street, alleged rapists. So the school just kind of washed their hands of it, did away with it, let these guys walk off, basically. But those are just some of the reasons that the girl sued the school. But here is where the privacy issues come in. Now, the student who is suing the school, she got some therapy at the university's health clinic. And in preparing to defend itself against her complaint, the university got access to those records and then forwarded them off to their attorney. Now, the school says in court papers that since the student went to the school's health clinic, her health records belong to the school, and therefore they could be accessed. In addition, they also argued that because the woman claimed emotional distress, which is a medical claim, the school says that they were entitled to her medical records as well under a federal law that's known as the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act, which is where they can access your medical records and pass them on to family or other parties. In cases like this would be extreme. You would never think that the school would want to go in and get your health records to protect themselves against a court case. Normally, you would use this if your parents needed to access your medical records or something like that. So much for doctor-patient confidentiality, and not to mention the fact that students are already really reluctant to go and seek medical help. So now, obviously, this is going to scare them off even more. But this is just one company. This is one school, one private organization. What are other companies going to stand to gain from having all of your private data? They're going to be private corporations in charge of handling all of that medical information. They're going to send it off to a lot of other third parties. You're going to get pinged from big pharma when they see that your blood pressure is high, things like that. So what do these other corporations have to gain from owning your data? Facebook has announced this week that in addition to tracking what you search for on the internet and what sorts of articles you share with your friends and family and things that you like on the site, it has announced that it's now going to start telling advertisers just what its users are saying about that company online. Now, they say that the plan is going to show marketers what audiences are saying on Facebook about events, brands, subjects, and activities so that they can get a holistic and actionable view of their audience for the first time. They say that this is because marketers want to understand what people think so that their products and marketing can be more relevant to their customers. Now, in the past, it would be based on what sort of articles you shared, but now they're actually going to be using topic data to scan your conversations. So they're going to be scanning the conversations, the things that you comment on, the things that you're talking about with your friends and family, things, of course, that you're putting in your direct messages with your Facebook friends. And also their announcement doesn't give any indication of whether or not you'll be able to opt out of this scanning of your conversations. Recently, one Facebook user, Daniel Cap, says that he wrote a status message. He was announcing that he was battling cancer, and he started searching for this topic online, and he began to be bombarded with advertisements for funeral homes. Can you imagine here? You're just learned that you're battling cancer, so you start trying to understand the disease, and you're seeing targeted advertising for funeral homes. So this program just once again underscores how Facebook believes that they own you. They own anything that you put on its site. They claim ownership on just about everything, including all the pictures that you post online as well. And you basically agree to it when you sign on to that user agreement. And so you really have no realistic expectation of privacy. Of course, Facebook's not the only one that's guilty of this. We reported just yesterday that people who are using Siri, Apple revealed that they too are collecting mass data, recording it, and transmitting this voice data to third parties. Samsung's smart TV is doing the exact same thing. Now, not to be outdone with exploiting all of this big data, Mattel, who of course makes children's toys, has just announced Hello Barbie. Hello Barbie is connected to Wi-Fi, and it uses speech recognition to communicate with kids. And they say they're just creating this Barbie in response to the call from young girls who say they would just love to be able to have a chat with Barbie. So now they talk to this doll, it records children's voices, and then it sends the data to the cloud, where that information can be stored for up to 2 years. And in Mattel's demo, Barbie is asking all kinds of questions of these kids. It's what are your interests? Tell me about your family. So of course, that's information that can be of great value to advertisers, and it can be used to market unfairly to children. And we already know that they market to children. They have a specific way that they line the cereal up on the grocery shelf. They know that if they put the cereal with the cartoon character's eyes angled up at the children, as the children are walking down the aisle, they're going to look down and say, "Mommy, I really want that cereal because it's talking to me," basically. So they have this down to a science. We already know how scandalous advertisers can be. So of course, they're going to exploit the information that they are gathering from your children who are just innocently playing with these dolls. But of course, this is in addition to all of the wearable devices that are being pushed. These things are going to track your data, let you know when you need to get up from your chair and start walking around more, let you know when your blood sugar is a little low or high, or hey, put that candy bar down, or you might need to make an appointment with your doctor. And a lot of people are really pumped about these wearable devices. We're seeing a lot of these coming up here at South by Southwest, which is going to be starting this week. And of course, when you sign up to use these Apple products and whatever kind of wearable devices are out there, you have to sign that user agreement that, yeah, your information can be shared with third parties. Now, here's one of the talks at South by Southwest, a conspiracy theorist guide to health tech. They say, what if buying junk food and not hitting your daily activity goal raises your insurance? What if your watch alerted Big Pharma that your blood pressure is too high? Just think about all the biometrics from wearables, implantables, and smart pills. Besides you and your doctor, who else could benefit from that data? What can they do with it? And how could it affect you? So obviously, we're just not the conspiracy theorists here at Infowars talking about this. This is a huge international conference too that's talking about what could be the issue with this wearable technology. One of the big themes that we're going to be seeing at South by Southwest this year is big data, and specifically how companies who have these vast troves of data on all of their employees, how those companies can monetize all of that data that's just sitting there in their databases. So imagine if all of the makers of these wearable devices decide to go the route of Facebook. There's a lot of money to be made in that data. Imagine if they decide to go the route as Facebook and say that they own all of the data that they collect on you. You have to read the user agreement. It's all there. You consent to that when you decide to use their device. And of course, you're sending that information via Wi-Fi to these third parties. Now, Edward Snowden, who was a keynote speaker at last year's South by Southwest, warned developers there that they really need to be focusing on stronger encryption and ways to really protect their user data. But of course, it seems in contrast, they're moving toward exploitation. They don't want to protect all that information because there's so much money to be made off of all the data that these apps and wearable devices and different things are collecting about us. So we'll be at South by Southwest all week covering the action all the way from interactive to film and music. So be sure to tune in every day to Infowars.com for more reports. Well, thank you for tuning in to the show tonight. And I wanted to answer some of your questions. A lot of people hit me up on Twitter and they say, Leanne, what's really the best way to support your operation? Obviously, signing up for a PPTV account. You know, we hook it up. You guys can share your username and password with up to 20 people. Also, even just hitting the subscribe button on our YouTube channel is a really good way to help support this operation. But also visiting the Infowars store. Those are definitely things that help us run this operation. You know that we're not sponsored by Big Pharma or whatever, and we are creating the best products, giving you the best Infowars Life products. And right now, we are running a special. There's 10% off of everything. And that includes those items that are already marked down 30%. So men, if you are feeling a full-on assault from all those feminists out there that want to take you down a notch, get the Super Male Vitality. Just turn the tables on them. That's the answer to the attack on men, is to just become supermen. I recommend highly Super Female Vitality for the ladies. And it really does make you ultra feminine. So go pick those up. We are running that special right now. 10% off everything using the promo code SUPER. We'll see you here Monday, 7 p.m. Central.
From the water table to our soils to the atmosphere itself, our world is becoming more and more toxic each and every day. But it's not just the air outside that's toxic. Indoor air has been shown to have 2 to 5 times higher concentrations of pollutants than even outdoor air. And most Americans spend 90% of their time inside using toxic chemicals within their homes. There are more than 42 million smokers in the United States. Well over 1,000 types of mold and mildew linked to numerous conditions. And don't forget the fact that 6 million Americans live with pets they're allergic to as well. When I began to research these statistics, it was clear to me it was time to start cleansing my lungs in order to combat the toxic environment that we cannot escape, but that we can fight back against. Made with organic and wild cultivated herbs and manufactured in the USA, the new Infowars Life Lung Cleanse is here in a convenient spray bottle that can be brought with you throughout any toxic environment. Now available exclusively at InfowarsLife.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139.
You are watching the Infowars Nightly News, which airs 7 p.m. Central at InfowarsNews.com. And your support is helping us defend liberty worldwide.